we've lived here for about a year and a half, 2 years now. And what we do is we actually are conducting all 4 core activities here in our home. We have a gathering on Saturdays from 5 to 7, where we have children's classes in one room, book 4 in another room, youth animators meeting in another room, and we have a monthly devotional, interfaith devotional. All of our kids have been inviting their friends from school and things like that. That's what's really fascinating, is how they're starting to come.
Well, I've invited my friends to our devotionals here, and our juniors, they have talked to me. I have some friends that are really interested, and they thought I need to join something like this.
So she sent out mass emails to all her friends, and
The whole 6th grade class.
and then they bring their parents. They're dragging their parents to come.
I invited them, and I thought it was going to be something very boring and not interesting. They came, and they were sending me emails, yelling at me, saying, if you don't invite me to the next one, I'm going to be really mad at you.
A lot of growth has happened from just our kids taking the initiative to invite their friends.
I feel very happy when I invite my friends because they're happy to come. They have lots of fun, and it's very enjoyable.
To see youth and children engaged in spiritual conversations and engage their parents in that, well, Baha'u'llah has told us the world's hungry for it. It's just a matter of stepping up to it, you know.
I think advice I could give to other people would to be just let them know, tell them what a devotional or junior youth group, children's classes, books, or whatever you're doing, explain it to them well and tell them it's lots of fun and make sure they have a first good experience.
Junior youth groups and the children's classes are fast becoming my personal favorite core activity. And I think junior youth in this area that we are has got a very high potential because the parents of the friends of the faith are very receptive to allow their junior youth to join our junior youth groups. And this has also allowed our Baha'i junior youth to be teachers of the cause. They are not only enjoying these groups, but they have the opportunity to invite their friends and be of service to the community, also developing a Baha'i identity as a servant and teacher of the cause.
For the kids, being now in a situation where they are not in an insulated environment, it was just Baha'is, that now they're in a sense forced to deal with people outside of the Baha'i community. So they have to develop a Baha'i identity that is their own. It's really powerful, the process of just building authentic relationships with people. And then the Institute process is there to be a vehicle to get people involved, like Book 1 and the youth animator, the children's classes. It's all, this is what the faith is needed, big time.
When I was 11 years old, I was taken to a big boarding school, and the lifestyle at that time was really, really different. We were not allowed to speak our language. We were not allowed to practice our traditional way of life. When I came back to the reservation, I studied the Baha'i faith, and I began to understand the new process that had been given to us by the Great Spirit to all the humanity. And now we have this Native American Baha'i Institute here that's just the continuation of the growth in the Baha'i faith. We have a lot of people that come here just like yourself, coming from the national office to serve. Like right now, there's a youth that came from England and one from Finland, and there are people come from all over the world.
At the moment, I'm in what's called my gap year, It's my year off in between college and university, and I guess I always knew I wanted to spend this time in service somehow. At college I studied Native American art, so I had an interest already about, you know, this kind of culture. But coming here, it's just like, you know, a whole new perspective on everything.
I came to Nabi because I wanted to spend my gap year serving the cause, and well, I started looking for a place to serve, and I first thought of India, where my cousin is serving right now. But then I decided I want to go somewhere else and share an experience with her so that when we come back together we can, you know, have different experiences. And then I started looking for places, and I remember that when I was a kid I was so excited about Native Americans and Indians, and I decided I want to do a service period in a Native American reservation. And then when everything was settled, we were laughing with my cousin that, you know, we're both going to the Indians, but we're just going to be in the opposites of the world, on the other side of the world, and you're going to be in a city with millions of people in New Delhi, and I'm going to be in some outback, you know, prairie area with deserts and stuff, and we're still going to both be serving the faith. At Nabi, I'm mostly involved in children's classes, and I've done some home visits and devotionals, of course, in the prayer hogan, which is behind me, and I've been doing a lot of cleaning and maintenance and that kind of stuff too. So it's been a big variety of things that we've got to do, and that's really great because you can also get to do the more boring stuff in a way that feels more like a sacrifice. I'm doing this cleaning from day after day after day. Now it feels like a sacrifice, and then you get to do these really inspirational, amazing home visits that we have, and children's classes, which are just awesome. The children have faced such things that I couldn't even imagine myself having faced, and they've experienced things that has made their life so much harder. Spiritual education is the only way of, you know, unleashing the powers that they have as Native children, especially because I think that as Native Americans and having the heritage that they do have maybe more receptivity in their spiritual levels, and in that way they're able to take more in.
This is a really cool place to teach because the Navajo people are so in touch with the spiritual world that they seem to have this level of nobility and spirituality that I haven't seen, you know, in suburbia, if you will.
The way Abdul Baha talks about the potential these people have, I always kind of thought, yeah, that's great. But being here, it's like, wow, you know, these people are just so amazing, and I want to be around when their potential is like just unleashed on the world.